On the 70th anniversary of the Doomsday Clock, a creation of the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists, the editors decided to do something unprecedented, moving the clock 30 seconds closer to midnight simply because of the election of Donald Trump as President of the United States. As the bulletin explains the scientists' history and mission. Founded in 1945 by University of Chicago scientists who had helped develop the first atomic weapons in the Manhattan Project, the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists created the Doomsday Clock 2 years later, using the imagery of apocalypse, midnight, and the contemporary idiom of nuclear explosion, countdown to zero, to convey threats to humanity and the planet. The decision to move, or to leave in place, the minute hand of the Doomsday Clock is made every year by the Bulletin's Science and Security Board in consultation with its board of sponsors, which includes 15 Nobel laureates. The clock has become a universally recognized indicator of the world's vulnerability to catastrophe from nuclear weapons, climate change, and new technologies emerging in other domains. The bulletin stated, "For the last 2 years, the minute hand of the Doomsday Clock stayed set at 3 minutes before the hour, the closest it had been to midnight since the early 1980s. The Science and Security Board of the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists has decided to move the minute hand of the Doomsday Clock 30 seconds closer to catastrophe. It is now 2 minutes and 30 seconds to midnight. The board's decision to move the clock less than a full minute, something it has never before done, reflects a simple reality. As this statement is issued, Donald Trump has been the U.S. president only a matter of days. Many of his cabinet nominations are not yet confirmed by the Senate or installed in government, and he has had little time to take official action. Just the same, words matter, and President Trump has had plenty to say over the last year. Both his statements and his actions as president-elect have broken with historical precedent in unsettling ways. What basis did the scientists use for their cataclysmic decision related to Trump, as the bulletin stated? He has made ill-considered comments about expanding the U.S. nuclear arsenal, shown a troubling propensity to discount or outright reject expert advice related to international security. His nominees to head the Energy Department and the Environmental Protection Agency dispute the basics of climate science. Suggested South Korea and Japan acquire their own nuclear weapons to compete with North Korea. Put forward candidates for cabinet-level positions, especially at the Environmental Protection Agency and Energy Department, who foreshadow the possibility that the new administration will be openly hostile to progress toward even the most modest efforts to avert catastrophic climate disruption. It is unclear as to how naive these scientists are. They insist that the Iran nuclear deal has been successful in accomplishing its goals and the election of Trump endangers that. After dismissing nuclear power as an answer for the energy the world demands, the scientists warn. Technology continues to outpace humanity's capacity to control it, even as many citizens lose faith in the institutions upon which they must rely to make scientific innovation work for rather than against them. The scientists want the Trump administration to acknowledge climate change as a science-backed reality and redouble U.S. efforts to limit carbon dioxide emissions and support carbon-free energy sources.